was that Eric Haula started playing great for them
right
before that trade, and then what that did is it knocked him to the fourth line, and he was pissed. So it messed with the chemistry of the team, and now you're putting a guy that couldn't skate, that I don't think has a huge heart to begin with, and you put him on the third line there, and it just never worked. And the worst thing that happened to them is, I think, if you remember, they went into their bye week, if I remember correctly, at the end of February, so right before the trade deadline. And they played Chicago in the last game before the bye week, and Taves lit them up. I think he had a 4-point game, won them the game in overtime. Everybody's going to have to look this up. And I just think it made Chuck Fletcher and even probably Bruce Boudreau realize or believe that they needed another center to go and acquire. Unfortunately, Hansel was not the guy they should have acquired.
No, exactly. And, and again, I critique local teams. I should critique myself when I get one wrong. I was in complete agreement with their thinking, but as you pointed out, even if it was the right philosophical idea, it was the wrong player at that time.
There weren't a lot of centers available. I'll have to go back and look. I remember the other guy that they were looking at was was it the Danish, is there a Danish guy that used to play for Vancouver and San Jose? Center. God, I can't believe I can't forget his name. Cannot believe I can't remember his name right now. You know what?
Look it up and bring it to the next show, because that'll be the next live.
But that was another guy, and it's not like I can't remember if it was either Vancouver or San Jose that traded for him, and it's not like he did anything there either. So it's there just weren't a lot of options to begin with, and I know. Look, that was a year that everybody thought that the Wild actually had a chance to go and maybe even be a cup contender, and I think that Chuck Fletcher was almost scared at that time to just stand pat at the trade deadline, and in his eyes, he thought he was doing the right thing by going out and adding a center that a lot of people had respect for. But I had covered that guy enough to know. I mean, I remember sitting in the stands. It was definitely after the bye, because it was before the trade deadline. It was the first practice at the end of the bye. Anthony LaPanta and I are sitting in the top of the lower bowl, and I got a message from a source of mine that said they're about to acquire Hansel. And I look at Anthony, I'm like, you're not going to effing believe this. They are about to trade for Martin Hansel. And he goes, what'd they give up? And I said, I don't know yet. And I said, if they gave up a first-round pick, they're going to regret this day forever. And then all of a sudden it comes out, and not only did they give up a first, but they gave up a first, a second. And I looked at Anthony. I'm like, what the heck are they thinking here? It was just dumb.
Wow. Okay, let's finish up the show with Twitter questions. A couple of reminders. First of all, is Bite Squad. The code is Talk North for your first delivery fee to be waived. But go to bitesquad.com. Sometimes they have even better deals than that. And if you've already used the Talk North promo code, then you can usually find something at their website, or you can just use them because they deliver really good food. Restaurant quality food from the restaurant, as if it just came out of the kitchen, morning, noon, night, late night, snack time, office, home, or wherever. Bitesquad.com, Bite Squad, the app. The app is really easy to use. Also, remember, October 21st at 7 o'clock, the next live show at Tin Shed in Savage. That's tinshedmn.com. You can see a nice picture of Michael's face and all the deals that they have at Tin Shed. We'll tell you more about their menu and everything else when we do the live show, tinshedmn.com. We've had great crowds down there, and we really enjoy seeing everybody out. On Twitter, Kevin Hanlon, everyone is wondering if Bruce is safe, but I'm wondering if he even wants to stay. If he wants to win a cup, this team isn't going to get it done anytime soon.
Look, nobody wants to get fired. So that's probably all I should say on that. No, I don't get into his mind.
From Connor Bale, a little out of the loop on this, but was Philippe Johansson a bust, or is he still on his way?
Well, I don't know. I don't watch him. I can tell you that belief is that he's probably not going to make it, but we'll have to see. He's 19 years old.
From Daniel Hassett, basically asks, is the terrible start due to the fact that they're playing tough teams on the road? Is that a factor, or is that the cause at this point?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, there's no doubt they're playing. They have a hard schedule to begin the season. And not only are they playing on the road, 6 of their first 7 and 13 of their first 18, but they are playing against really, really quality opponents and opponents that they don't match up well against because these are all fast teams. The problem is that you look around the league right now, and it's just like, I was just watching. I was just looking at the bottom of the Eastern Conference right now, and all those teams are still dangerous teams. Teams that I don't think the Wild match up against, and that's the thing here. And the problem when you start a schedule like this on the road is that if you don't tread water early, you are chasing the pack the rest of the season, and that's what the Wild find themselves in right now, starting 1-5 and potentially worse. So they've got to get some wins here, or the standings are going to get out of hand in a quickly, in a real big hurry here, and we're starting to see that. I mean, you're already staring up at everybody. So, look, there's no doubt that they've got a tough schedule here, and they're playing hard teams and things like that. But the reality is that you still got to win these games, and they're not doing it.
From Danny Sussman, there's been a lot of talk about Guerin and change in attitude. How much time is he spending in the locker room and with the players, and how does that compare to other GMs with all the talk about his pep talks? Almost sounds like he's another coach in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's doing that, but he is around the team a lot. He is definitely in the locker room a lot. I saw him down there today. Rob Rossi, who works for The Athletic, used to cover him with the Pittsburgh Penguins, shadowed him last week, the day before the Wild played the Penguins, and hung around with him in the bowels of the Wild practice facility, and paints a pretty good picture of him just sitting in the workout room, chatting with players, asking how they're doing, making jokes and things like that. And that's one of the things that I definitely want to talk to Billy Guerin about on my podcast yesterday, tomorrow, when we recorded at the morning skate, is that sometimes he tries to be Bill Guerin the GM, but the Billy G, which was his acumen when he played, usually comes out because he was always a fun, affable guy, loose in the locker room, practical jokester, things like that. So he's still doing that around the locker room. And that's part of the thing that, he's going to have to try to, as he transitions to being more on, as the head honcho here, he's going to have to kind of play that balance because, sometimes it's a little dangerous to get to know these guys on such a personal basis where you like them and you respect them, and then you maybe have to make some hard decisions about their future that's going to uproot their life. He's going to have to, kind of walk that line. He's learning as it's going along, but Billy's always going to be Billy. I mean, he's always going to be a guy that is down by the locker room, that players are going to like, they're going to feel comfortable talking to, that he's going to feel comfortable going in. Some GMs back in the old days, they would actually walk in the room even between periods and tear the team apart. I don't see Billy ever doing stuff like that, but he's, like all GMs, Paul Fenton had a fuse too. I remember Paul Fenton actually got fined last year by the league because like 3 games in a row he stormed down to the referee's room, and he got fined, I think, the third game in a row because they warned him after number 2 never to do it again. And so all GMs have fuses. I remember Brian Murray used to do that once a game, and it got to the point where the league basically told these GMs, do not ever go near the restroom again. So Paul kind of broke that rule, and so Paul had a fuse, just like a lot of guys. And I think that we're going to start to see that as maybe Billy Guerin gets to know this roster more and takes more ownership of it, and it becomes more part of his fabric, that we're going to probably see that time where he kind of breaks a fuse as well.
From Nikolai, old friend, if you were to trade 1 or 2 of the young forwards for a center or a right wing, who and why?
I mean, probably Fiala. There's something missing with that guy right now. It's a little dangerous again. He's so young. I just don't know if these guys are all top 6 guys. Donato, I like him as a person. He's got a great shot, but same thing. It's just like, his skating isn't great. He's not strong on his skates. He's not physical, things like that. Greenway can't skate, not shooting the puck. And when I say can't skate, I just mean he's not gonna
NHL
win a. Yeah, he's not gonna win a race.
Right.
That type of thing. So, but and that's sort of what I mean. And the only reason why I'm even entertaining the question is because I do think there is going to come a point where Billy's going to have to look at those guys as potentially being the ones to move, because I just don't know how much value a lot of the other guys have on the team. He just signed Spurge to a contract, to a very, very lucrative contract. We know Suter's going nowhere. Brodin is probably tradable. He's somebody that probably he's going to have to entertain at some point, maybe moving. But in terms of the veteran forwards, unless he's going to move Zucker, there's just not a lot of value there. So he's going to have to start to look at the Arseneks, the Cunnins, the Greenways, the Donatos, and the Fialas. Cunnin is still the one guy that, to me, should be somebody that he shouldn't look at moving right now. I just still think there's a lot there. I think he could shoot the puck. I think he, you wish he could skate faster, but he's the type of guy. He's a junkyard dog. He throws his face in front of anything. He's physical. He gets under people's skin, works his butt off, and he can shoot the puck. I just wouldn't move him. But the other guys, I would consider it.
As usual, we're not going to get to all the Twitter questions. We really do appreciate you sending them, and we'll try to get more and more as the season goes on. Especially if the team's lousy, the Twitter questions will be better than actually talking about the team. Once again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to our producer, Brandon Morton. We'll be back October 21st, 7 o'clock at Tin Shed in Savage, tinshedmn.com. Let's wrap it up with a final question from AJ. Well, let's do a rhetorical question from Slacks. Your buddy Slacks asks, will Bruce ever be able to watch the NHL Network this season? Once again, rhetorical. From AJ, is my math correct here, given that we're 6 games into the season? Zuccarello, Donato, Fiala, Stahl, Greenway, Ek, and Koivu are still on pace for 0 goals.
I'm pretty sure that you're correct on that.
That's when you put it that way.
Yeah. Who are the players again?
Let's see. He had Zuccarello, Donato, Fiala, Stahl, Greenway, Ek, and Koivu.
Yep. You're probably dead on.
Wow.
Hey, is there one positive question we get? This has been such an uplifting thing. I'm ready to.
That's a good point. Let me find a positive, uplifting question.
Floor of this hotel, and I'm thinking of taking a swan dive out the window. So we gotta.
I'm going through.
There's gotta be one positive thing, no?
Well, I'll wrap it up with this question. This is the closest I can find to a positive question. Over under in gallons, the amount of Starbucks Michael goes through this year. Tiebreaker, the amount before games versus the amount during games to remain awake.
Oh, my God.
That's the positive question.
Yeah, probably more. I'm trying to think if there's anything happened on this road trip that would be fun to talk about. No.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap, folks. We'll see you October 21st. We're going to bring some positivity on October 21st. At least one of us is.
Pretty little city built on a hillside. Music in the bars and fire in the sky. We went to the beach and it was covered in ice. And I used to call it home. So much coming out, there's nothing going in. I know that you feel like you're never gonna win. Oh, but the world won't forgive